Welcome back. This is Fantastic Things and How We Hide Them. I'm not Chris.
And I'm not Karina.
But we're here together.
As usual.
For more fun times
and
shenanigans. We're back, fishes.
Warm welcome to our Netherlands followers.
Heck yeah.
I know that you know that we know. That you now know that we know.
You now, exactly.
We know.
We know that you know.
Wink. Anyway.
Yeah. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the party. It's been a long time, but we are back in the saddle. Hooray. This is our sibling duo podcast / YouTube channel about life with chronic and invisible illnesses and conditions, including those that are mental and emotional.
Because I'm mental and she's emotional.
Facts.
You know.
Yes.
If you want to reach out to us, you can find us at the following place, because we don't have a website. Don't go to the website.
Don't go to the
website.
It's bad.
Seriously,
bad news.
Don't go. It lapsed. Someone bought it.
It's not funny.
You don't need to know. Don't go to the website.
This is a real warning, like explicit
Do
warning.
not go to our website.
Not like a ha-ha, don't look this up. Like, don't just...
Well, if you're alone, you can do whatever you want. Anyway, Discord. Follow us on Discord. Join the Discord.
Yes.
We're going to be active again. We had a lot going on. You can catch updates there.
Yes. And leave us comments on YouTube.
Yes, please. Please.
We like to hear from you and everyone else.
Yeah.
It's fun. All right. Well, we're back.
What do we?
It's been a long
time. We can't do
time.
like a weekly recap. We
No,
can do, and
we
I don't want to
can't.
do a recap of any kind. Let's start fresh. Right? So like, why don't we just next week we could do a recap of what happened this next week, but not. We're not doing a recap.
We'll do a story time later, but the story time comes with lots of trigger warnings. So we're not going to do that today. We'll do that later. Wait for the trigger warning episode later, and then I will tell you about all of the
Boy, will she
things.
tell you.
I'll tell you things. You probably didn't want to know the things, but I will tell you the things, okay?
I didn't want to know either, but here
you
I
have
am.
questions, now is a good time to ask them, and then I will. Oh, did you get it?
Yeah.
Yes, good job. We both got a fly today.
Whew.
We're on it. But yeah, today, no trigger warnings. We're just going to talk about boundaries.
Maybe trigger warnings for boundaries. Some people get triggered by that kind of stuff.
If you're triggered by boundaries, you need to go sit in the corner.
Maybe I meant more like people who have had their boundaries violated.
Okay, see, that's
Not
different.
people who are like,
that's
boundaries!
different.
I'm going to ruin your day! No, not those guys.
If you're
Fuck
out
those
here
guys.
and you're like scared of fences, I don't know what to tell you.
Doctors.
Doctors.
No borders.
Doctors are afraid of fences.
Mm-hmm. They don't believe in borders, I've heard. I'm just putting it out there so the world knows. Why else would there be an organization called Doctors Without Borders?
Because normally doctors have borders.
Nah.
Why would they feel the need to be explicit about without borders?
Because people think
if
they like
didn't
them.
normally have borders.
I would make a fan group for things that I like that people thought I didn't like.
Doctors with Borders. There's a fan group called Doctors with Borders.
Probably. And
Oh
they're not
my
very
God.
popular because Without Borders is fucking killing it. I know about them, but I don't know about the other.
Doctors with Borders.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
They're just cross-stitching in the back.
Aw. Maybe not. Maybe I do like those guys. They're going to cross-stitch. I didn't know.
I'm not sorry for any of this.
Anyways,
by the way.
borders.
Borders. We're not talking about borders.
But we are.
I mean...
Minors, not minors.
minors, not minors.
I don't get what you mean.
If you get that call back, you're awesome. I love you. Yeah, we're talking about boundaries and the difficulty and importance of setting boundaries and being able to stick to and defend your boundaries, because setting boundaries is one thing. What do you do when someone tramples all over your boundaries? What happens? What happens then? What happens? Are you going to cry about it? You might cry about
Yeah,
it. I don't know.
actually, probably.
You probably can cry about it.
If you're like
that's
me,
fine.
you're going to internalize it and cry about it when they leave.
Yes, and then be like, why did I let them step all over my
Yeah, and then be
soul?
upset about it, but like,
Yeah.
after.
But mad at
There's
yourself too. It's like,
Yes.
ugh, eh. How do we get this conversation started? How would you like to begin?
She asks me, but I'm over here like, bro, I don't even have boundaries. Don't come near me.
It's like, stay over there.
Yes, don't cross this line. That's not a boundary. Hey! Maybe, I don't know. What's a nice way to get into this? Is there a nice way to go into?
Is there a
I
nice
have
way?
boundaries and people don't respect my boundaries.
Well, and I've had to very firmly install and hold boundaries, not only for other people, but boundaries. Okay, let's slide through the idea that boundaries are not just for other people. Boundaries are also for you. And when you are not respectful of your own boundaries, you're setting a precedent for others to do the same.
Yes.
So if I'm not firmly defending my boundaries and looking after myself as though I was someone else, how are we expecting other people to be respectful of our boundaries?
This is huge in a way that she doesn't realize yet, because it's what I've been dealing with kids, because kids will go as far as you go with anything.
Oh, absolutely.
And push the limits. And my kids love to push the limits because it's funny, but a lot of times it's not funny because it's like you've now said horrible things.
You've now made me angry. Oops.
Not just angry, but like hurt.
Oh, yes.
Like genuinely upset. Like the other day, like, okay, I say the other day, but this is months ago now. I was sitting in my room and Rin comes in and was in a huffy and was like pissed off. And I was like, okay, whatever. What's wrong? You went up and down the stairs. I get it. It's not fun. And then she was like, and I was like, can you shut the door? I don't want the cold to get out, because it was.
Is this the one where she was mean to you about being disabled?
Yes. She said, oh, it must be real hard for you, huh? And I went, yes, it fucking is hard. But it was one of those things she didn't know. Like,
yeah.
So I've had to be, I developed the ability to have boundaries in that way.
Yeah.
Which I didn't before kids.
No, well.
I had no boundaries before kids. I let people just walk all over me, man. I didn't give a fuck. I mean, I did, but I didn't.
Yes. Yeah. Like there is a way in which we like trick ourselves into thinking we're maintaining boundaries while letting other people walk all over us.
Exactly.
And I think it comes from the appeasement part
it's like
of the trauma cycle.
Yeah.
To be totally fair. Like, I think it's that fawning piece where we're like, if I can anticipate other people and get ahead of them, then they're not disrespecting my boundaries. I'm allowing blah, blah, blah behavior. And then that doesn't reflect on my inability to hold boundaries.
Yes.
But in reality, we struggle highly with holding boundaries, especially if you're coming out of a traumatic situation or a traumatic childhood or like the whole nine, right? Like, if that's not how you were raised and conflict is bad and scary, everything to do with boundaries can feel like conflict.
Well, and if you never had a space to like develop that skill.
Well, if you were never allowed to have boundaries.
That's what I mean. Like if you, there's like, I didn't have boundaries ever. Nothing I had was sacred. I didn't have a door until I moved in with you. There's no door.
And then my door went away.
And then your door disappeared.
Yes.
Fucking weird.
Weird. He took my door.
Well, I needed it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just kept it in my closet. But I had it. Up to here. Anyway.
He took my door and my boundaries.
Yeah, it was me. I'm the villain.
No, I'm just kidding. Ah, God. Yeah, but trauma's complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to survive traumatic situations and traumatic upbringing and living in constant chaos, fawning is one of the like main skills that we develop and nurture and fall into. And then when it's not time to survive anymore, it doesn't serve us super well.
Right.
And it takes a minute to realize that it's not serving us super well.
It takes a couple of mistakes. Many mistakes.
A lot of mistakes.
I was going to say a lot of mistakes.
A lot of mistakes.
You gotta, well, it takes a while to realize you're being trampled on and that it's you letting it happen.
Yes.
You're always like, why is everybody so mean to me? Or why is, you know what I mean? Like,
well, and that's the thing. Like, we've talked before about, like, it's your responsibility to teach people how to treat you.
Yeah.
But when you don't do that, it's hard to be surprised at the way people treat you.
Right. They'll do crazy shit. Like, I can't give examples.
We're all children at the end of the day, and it's all that like pushing of boundaries of like how much exactly can I get away with without causing a problem.
Right.
When in reality it's causing a problem the entire time because you're not being respectful.
Yeah, the problem is not being like stop.
Boundaries.
Stop. Just
the problem is stop. Yes.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Stop doing that now.
But they're like, but I can keep doing that, and you're not going to say anything.
Also, side note, I'm not cold. I'm just trying not to block the air because I've got an AC
fine.
right here.
I'm cool enough.
And
now.
I keep hiding my arms to keep them from blocking your air. But it looks like I'm cold.
Was hot
and I'm
earlier.
not cold. I'm perfectly chill and happy.
Perfectly
Fine.
chill. Yes.
But if I do this, anyway. Got a pillow.
He doesn't know I have a pillow right here too.
Yeah, I do.
Beat him
What are you
with
gonna do? I was gonna say, what are you gonna block the air from
No, I'm
me?
gonna beat you with it.
Yeah, fair.
We'll put the cat in the pillowcase, and then I'm gonna beat you with it.
Also fair.
5 out of the 6 ends are.
That
plenty.
is not a boundary. See what I just did there? I let myself open to being abused. Not great.
But it's sibling time, so you know
Yeah.
it's fine. Oh God. But there are, and I feel like the boundaries that we set and hold for ourselves, it has to come from a place of self-compassion,
Mm-hmm.
which is friggin' hard. That's really hard. That is step number 1 and is the hardest piece of it in general, is believing that you are worthy of upheld boundaries
Yeah.
and worthy of not being trampled all over.
It's like it's a step in the
And
process, but
you-
not the beginning.
Right. Like you have to know that sorry, I've been really sick, so I'm still kind of meh. It wasn't good. It wasn't a good time. No, it's tough because if you don't believe that you are worthy of those boundaries, then they can seem flexible or wishy-washy or situational or
Mhm.
personal. And I mean, your boundaries should be personal. I'm sorry, but they should. There should be different boundaries for different people. Not in the, I let this person trample all over me and not that one. That's not what we're saying here.
Right.
But I'm saying that, like, just like your personal space changes depending on who you're talking to and facing,
Mhm.
your personal space is a boundary, darling. Like, first of all, that's step number 1 in identifying what is a boundary.
Right.
What does a boundary look like in your own self-care? Personal space is a big one.
Huge.
And that's one that I've generally upheld for the most part.
Yeah.
But when it's blatantly crossed, there's a freeze that comes into play because you don't really know how to, like...
Yeah, you're in this awkward situation.
Yeah,
and it's
you're like, you are too close to
fight,
me. Do
flight or
I
freeze?
step
What do I
away?
fucking do here?
Do I move you away?
Do I punch you?
Do I slip out and run? Like, what do we do? What do we do in here?
Yeah.
Like, example, I had a stranger one time in a Subway, maybe? Yeah, I was ordering at Subway, and he came over and put his arm around me after sexually harassing other people in the store.
Of course.
And I just looked at him and I went, no, thank you. And I ducked out of it and moved away. And I was like, oh, okay. So working with children really
Works.
is helpful.
Oh, God, dude.
for
If you
having
just
boundaries.
apply children rules to adults,
It's fantastic.
it always works.
It really does work, though.
It
'Cause
does.
if you're like, no, thank you.
We're not doing that right now.
Right. Like, that's inappropriate and unexpected behavior. No, thanks.
Yeah.
Then they go,
Yeah, talk down to them.
do it. Talk to other people like their children.
Yes.
See what happens.
Everybody.
It's fun.
Never treat them with respect. Always talk down to
You
them.
should be treating children with respect.
No, wait. Don't make me say no to that.
Wait.
Why'd you do that? That was a trap. No.
You failed to uphold your boundaries, and now we're
Shit.
here. Fuck.
Every time. Every
Ugh.
time.
But yes, if you think about it, like, we're constantly teaching other people everything all the time anyway. As human beings, you're teaching people how to interact with you. And if you don't teach them how to interact with you, they're going to apply rules from other interactions they've had.
Right.
And sometimes it's not a healthy situation.
Right. Well, you don't
And
know where
they're-
they're coming from. Like, you
Yeah.
don't know what weird behaviors they've picked up over time and
Right.
weird shit that they don't think is weird, but
Uh-huh.
is very.
Yeah. Like the entitlement cycle.
Yeah,
Like
oh my
One of your
God.
children was talking about another kiddo who had no boundaries.
Yeah.
Right. And was extremely entitled to the things in the guest family's house. Their food, their time, their energy, their cleaning, their rules were all flexible according to this child.
The tablet pen.
Yeah, that's weird.
Fucking weirdo.
It's weird. It's weird behavior.
Calling
for
you out,
children.
random kid.
It's weird behavior.
Yeah.
But the two of us looked at each other and we went, bad parents.
and only child.
And only
Very
child, that too.
obvious.
But, like, if you are not installing boundaries, they're going to apply their own boundaries. And
Right.
their boundaries are going to be messed up in comparison to what you would like them to be.
Okay.
More than likely.
So then, sorry, I've been up all day. I don't believe in sleep anymore.
He doesn't
I haven't
believe in
slept in
sleep.
days. It's been a while. What would you? Where would be a starting point then? Say you've not been really good at setting boundaries before. How would you start analyzing like what your needs, like what you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's a good place to start. I think part of it is like identifying where your previous lack of boundaries has failed you.
There you
and
go.
left you feeling that sense of injustice or that sense of being wronged, or like we all know it, right? There is a sense within us that's like, ooh, that didn't feel good.
Yeah.
That felt icky and I'm not really sure what that was, but it feels gross and I didn't like it. So identifying where your lack of boundaries has kind of failed you in the past is a good place to start. And then understanding like, what is the role of boundaries? Why do we put them in place in the first place?
What about setting it's like you were saying earlier, as like a template, how you would treat other people. Like why would you not expect the way you treat people to be reflected in how you get treated, right?
Yeah. Like, oh yeah.
Being like, well, I would never do that to so and so means that you would never let that happen to you.
Yes.
Which is weird, but
I saw a post that was really interesting that was like, you don't understand it because you would never do it.
Right.
And that's kind of the core of like, first of all, depersonalizing other people's behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've said this before years and years running, so you can find it in the other episodes, but like they're not doing it to you, they're just doing it. And if we are personalizing everybody's behavior toward us, it gets muddy real fast.
Yeah.
But if we can depersonalize that behavior and be like, oh, well, they need a reminder that this is as far as that goes. Or they need to understand that I'm not made of time. Or they need to understand that they can't have access to me at all hours of the night. Or...
subtle.
Or that they don't get to like willy-nilly weave themselves in and out of your life based on their own like needs or wants, right? Like this is more personal for me because I just called you out just a little bit. Yeah. But for me, one of the ones that I've been struggling with is not continuing reaching out to people I know they don't have my best interest at heart.
Right.
They don't really care about me. My wanting them to care about me leaves me in a vulnerable position of lax boundaries because I want them to interact with me.
Right.
But if I allow that, then I just set myself up to keep touching the hot burner over and over and over again just to see if I still get burned. And guess what? I'm still going to get burned because they're going to weave in. They're going to pretend they care for a little while, and then they're going to be gone again. And I'm going to go, we knew that was going to happen. Why did I do this to myself again for the umpteenth time? So for me, a lot of it is like understanding my role in how I give passes, I guess.
Right.
Or like I lax my boundaries or let them flex certain ways because we have trauma. We have trauma and we have like wants and desires, and rejection, it hurts. Rejection is hard. But if people are rejecting you because you have healthy boundaries, those people did not have your best interest at heart at all. But for me, it's a lot of like, I have to remember to look after myself as though I was looking after someone else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And that's a big one, is like, if I am going to look at somebody else going through that and see the injustice in it, I need to be seeing the injustice for myself.
Right.
And I need to be doing something about that because that's not fair and I don't deserve it. But they can be simple and small too. It might just be like, no, I can't come pick you up 17 times a week.
Right.
Like, no, I can't keep giving you gas money when you're spending it on other things. Or like, just small and simple stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you may have laxed your boundaries in other places, but don't feel like your laxity is permanent.
No. And it builds, like, you're building a thing when you do it that way. You're building, like, mutual respect.
Yes.
Like, they're learning, and they're not dropping you and being like, oh, well, I'm offended by that. Then they're like, oh, shit, okay, my bad.
Right.
And then they adjust. They move on. It's like, you're just building a better relationship.
Yeah. Well, and that's exactly it, is through that like communication.
Yeah.
And understanding communication, even if it's an uncomfortable topic, does not mean that it's a fight.
Yeah, that's
uncomfortable conversation does not always equal conflict.
Yeah.
But again, trauma, that's really difficult for us to understand at times, and for other people to understand when we start putting boundaries up.
Well, and I've been trying to raise the kids with that, because we never had that.
Yeah.
Conflict was always the worst of all things ever.
Yeah.
So like trying to get them to understand that I can be mad at you, but I still love you. And like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Just because I in a moment was upset doesn't mean that I'm still upset. I expressed my emotion, and I've moved on in the last second. I know it's weird.
Yeah.
But I've moved on, and now we can continue do whatever we were doing. But,
right. But you're acknowledging that, ew, I didn't like the way that felt.
Exactly.
And I'm installing a boundary around that.
Yeah.
So that doesn't continue to happen.
Right.
Icky. Didn't like it. No. What about boundaries with like people you have to continue interacting with, but are chronically disrespectful of your boundaries?
That's a no-win situation. That's roommates. You're talking about roommates.
Well, roommates or coworkers or exes or like
all the people I don't want to talk to.
Well, but that's exactly it, right? Like I don't want to be in a conversation or relationship with these humans, but I have to be roommates for one reason or another.
I was thinking back to like I've had so many roommates before.
Yeah. Roommates are freaking hard though.
They are.
Because when you do install those boundaries, people are not used to explicit communication.
Right. It throws them off.
It freaks them out.
Yeah.
They get scared and they get upset and they get in their feels. So, I mean, I've had to call out not only the behavior, but the cycle of feeling that comes from being called out about the behavior.
Right.
So I've had to do both things in a row in order to reinstate the relationship, first of all, being like, I still give a crap about you. The world is not falling apart because I asked you not to do that one thing.
Yeah.
I was putting a boundary in place and communicating how I was feeling. That's it. That's all there is.
Yeah.
Nothing bad is happening.
Right.
Nothing bad is happening. The world is not ending. We're not like breaking up the house. We're not like banishing you to the shadow realm, right? Like that was, here's the boundary. You are feeling a way about the boundary. You can feel however you need to feel. That is totally okay. Feel how you need to feel. That's not my business to call out. But when it starts getting awkward and tense because I put a boundary in place, then we got to address that awkward and tense. Which can be scary, to be the one to take that lead and be like, oh, okay, we got to address this and talk about it.
Right. But it's, I don't know. To me, there's like an amount of control you can get from that. Like, you don't feel lost in someone else's emotions when you're doing it that way.
Yes.
Right. Like you're like, well, okay, I don't want to do this, but I need to do this so that they're not lost in whatever thoughts or feelings and everyone's on the same page.
Right. Okay. So it's that same like depersonalization of their emotions.
Right.
So you have to be able to hold what they're feeling to the side, acknowledge it, empathize with it. And then instead of correcting the emotion, you correct the intent. Or at least this is how I've done it. I corrected the intent and then reiterated what the boundary is and why the boundary is what it is. Because it's not, the boundary is not conflict.
Right.
The boundary is, don't cross that line. You crossed a line. I didn't like it. Please don't do that again.
Right.
That's it. That's all there is. That's the boundary. That's where we are. That was a communication, not an accusation.
Right.
But it's hard.
It is. It's healthy though. And I mean, it needs to be normalized, honestly.
Yes. Yeah.
Having that cycle. Because if everyone were doing it, everyone would be like, oh shit, that's a boundary. Okay.
Yeah.
I see what I was doing. I know my part in it. I can fix this.
Right. Instead of taking that communication personally.
Exactly. And then
or as
being
in a personal attack or feeling attacked about something or other. Yeah. Especially coming out of a traumatic situation, because we don't know what baggage other people are bringing to the table. It is really difficult to look at somebody and understand exactly what emotional and mental baggage they bring with them and what coping skills they've developed around those situations or lack of coping skills that they've developed around those situations.
Right. Well,
So
see, that's it.
that may turn into somebody else fawning at you.
Right.
And that can be its own problem entirely because that puts you at this really weird power dynamic that nobody needs to be in general.
Right.
Like, that's
big one of those things
imbalance.
where it's like, if you can spot it, you can direct it. Be like, you need to go and learn this skill set from so-and-so.
Right.
Usually a therapist.
Most likely
a therapist.
Because I'm going to say something, and
shit.
this seems to be freaking profound to people.
Okay. If
recently.
I'm not blown away.
It's not you. You're not going to be blown away. You can't teach yourself things you don't know. So when people are like, oh, I'll fix it. No, you won't. No, you won't. Because
Right.
first of all, it's not a fix it kind of thing. It's a you need to learn a thing.
Not
and
just,
you can't teach yourself anything that you don't know.
not just fix it. I can handle it.
Oh, I hate that.
No, I
hate
can
that.
do that. I know. No,
Ugh.
you can't.
I'll take care of it.
No.
It's my issue.
Right.
It's my problem. I'll deal with it.
Oh,
No,
fuck.
go to therapy.
Go to therapy.
Put on your pants. Go to therapy.
I wear PJs when I go to therapy.
I mean, you can do that too. But
So-
are they PJ pants?
Sometimes.
Put on your trousers.
It's not like I'm going. I'm like I do
I do virtual. therapy
virtual.
too,
So
yeah.
like
Put on enough clothing to go to therapy.
I do ish. Usually
Don't go to therapy naked.
ish.
There will be other problems.
There's a lot of issues.
Your
in what I'm
therapist will
doing.
draw a boundary.
Hopefully, and then you can learn from it.
I guarantee.
Look,
The therapist is gonna be like, hi. You can't show up naked.
I have a problem. It sounds so bad. This is worse.
Is this unrelated?
This is so
to being
unrelated.
naked? Okay, good.
So unrelated.
I
The
was
problem
really
is it's
worried.
unrelated.
Okay.
I'm so out of practice at the podcast that I got stuck on boats in my head, and now all I want to talk about is boats. But we can't talk about boats on the podcast. We're talking about boundaries.
Why can't we talk about... Wait, where did you get stuck on boats?
I don't know. Melgus popped into my head, and I was like, oh, an MC Scout would be so sick right now.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with anything. I'm sorry.
It really doesn't.
I don't know.
Just
I don't know.
my brain's serving up soft pitches, and I'm like, swing! Oh, shit.
I mean, you could apply like boating rules to boundaries.
That's what
if
it was.
You really wanted
We were
to.
talking about people
right of way.
hard directing, and I was like, yeah, it'd be like if you were sailing and then you had to go into knots. It's not like the end of the world. You just get out of knots, and once you're not in irons, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Fucking Jesus Christ. Boats, man.
Boats.
Everything is solved with
Don't
boats.
touch America's boats.
But I'm done.
Time to call it.
Oh,
a day.
dude, I'm fried.
Yeah. It's been hard, man. Getting back into the swing is tough, but he just gave me a boundary. And the boundary was, I've had enough and I need to be done so we can talk about boats.
And it was explicitly communicated.
Yes.
See what I
And
did
so
there?
now I
just said
know
it.
that it's time to
I said
end
my
the
truth.
podcast.
It was my truth. But then she took my truth and made it an example for everyone without my permission. So she didn't really follow the boundary I was trying to set up there. She was ignoring the boundary that I was setting up.
Well, you
I
were
wanted to
not
talk about-
explicit about
Shut
the
up!
boundary.
Explicit communication. Anyways.
What do they need to do?
Oh, take your meds. I know we don't start there, but for fuck's sake, take your meds.
Please.
Thank you.
Take your meds. I don't know. It's fine.
Now you can hydrate or dehydrate.
Yeah. Do that. Drink like a full glass with your meds, maybe.
Yes.
A full one, not just 2 sips. And I'm sorry, soda's not water. It's not. And tea? Tea's better. I mean, it has water in it, but that's like being like, beer has water in it.
Beer has
No.
anti-water.
Anti-water.
It's not the same.
Anti-water, yes. Drink some water, hydrate or dehydrate. Have a snack because you are a snack, you sexy, sexy motherfucker.
You are.
Kiss yourself in the rain.
I was going to say it. Didn't get to... You'll never know what it's like otherwise, so just try it.
Just do it. Full on, like, wrap your... And if you're bendy,
Kiss yourself in the rain.
just get all the way over there. Yeah. You know.
And check the Discord for updates on side projects. There might be
Facts.
updates for cool things that you can check out
Yes.
that may or may not be related to this and may or may not be beneficial to your life in ways that you'll never know.
You'll never know.
Even when it's done, you'll never
Ever.
know. But just Discord, not the website. Discord. Side projects.
Whew.
And if you have questions, just ask me. I'll tell you whatever you need to do. Anything. Even if I don't know, I'll ask chat BGT and then chat GPT.
BGD.
Chat GBD.
BGD.
BPD chat will tell me about it.
BPD chat. Oh no.
It'll tell me a lot of things.
We don't want to talk about BPD chat.
BPD chat's going to say some stuff about you.
It's going to tell you you're terrible and then ask you to come back and be its best friend.
Be my best friend.
You're going to need some really good boundaries.
Therapy. Anyways.
That too. All right, my friends. We love you so much.
We do. We missed you.
We're glad to be back.
Yes.
It's been fun. It's been a lot. I'm tired too. But we're gonna try to get back on the swing of things.
Yeah.
And get some more episodes out. And then yes, we will give you a story time eventually.
When the time is right.
Eventually. Don't trample my timing boundaries, okay? Just
stop
wait.
trampling her daffodils.
Just wait.
She loves them a lot.
Now they're dead and it's your fault.
I have roses in my front yard and a white rose and red roses. It's great. I love it. I want to
make pink babies?
No, that's disgusting and horrible. You fucking xenophobe.
I was just asking a question.
I'm trying to grow it into an arch over the thing, over the walkway, because it's almost tall enough to reach into the flag holster, and it could be an arch of roses. That's all I wanted to say.
People into
okay, shut up. We're leaving now. Bye.
Okay. Be kind to you. Be kind to others. And we will see you in the next one. Just.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
They need that. They need the
yes.
chaos.
Have chaos.
You need the chaos.
Take the chaos.
You don't get us without it. That was good. Well done.